Welcome to another English lesson. Today we are going to be talking about conjunctions and transitions. First, do you know what are conjunctions? Conjunctions are words that join part of a sentence. We have three types of conjunction: coordinating, subordinating, and correlative. In these lessons we are going to be talking about the three of them. So let's start with the first one. Coordinating conjunctions. They join words, clauses, and phrases that are the same. You just have to remember the acronym FAMBOYS, as you can see here. We use coordinating conjunctions when we want to give equal emphasis on two main clauses. Let's look at an example. Pam likes reading and listening to music in the weekend, but prefers watching movies or doing sports on workdays. Here the word "and" means in addition to, because we are saying that she likes reading and listening to music. The word "but" means on the contrary, because we are saying that she likes reading and listening to music, but she prefers watching movies or doing sports on workdays. And finally we have "or", which show us alternatives: watching movies or doing sports. Let's look at exercise 1. Jim loves listening to classical music. Space, hates Beethoven. Alternatives are for, yet, and so. The correct alternative is yet. So it would be Jim loves listening to classical music, yet hates Beethoven. Let's look at exercise 2. Taylor wouldn't take the exam. Space, she wasn't prepared for it. Alternatives: for, and nor. In this case, the correct alternative is for, which means because. So it would be Taylor wouldn't take the exam, for she wasn't prepared for it. Now we have subordinating conjunctions. Subordinating conjunctions join dependent clauses to independent ones. Let's see an example. Mary will sell her camera unless she learns how to use it well. In this case, unless means except. There are many subordinating conjunctions. Some of them are unless, although, as long as, even if, by the time, before, as, even though, after, because, and as if. Let's go with exercise 1. Space, Mary was looking at the masterpiece. Josh was daydreaming about her. The alternatives are although, unless, and while. In this case, the correct alternative is while. So it would be while Mary was looking at the masterpiece, Josh was daydreaming about her, because while means in the meantime. Then we have exercise 2. Space, Mary refused to eat dinner. Her father grounded her from going out. The alternatives are unless, before, and after. In this case, the correct alternative is after, because here after means following the event. Finally, we have correlative conjunctions. These are used in pairs and join things that are the same, just like coordinating conjunctions. Some of them are as, both and, not only but also, either or, whether or, not but, and neither nor. Let's look at an example. Both Zoe and John decided to go on holiday this June. Here is like saying that both of them decided to go on holiday this June. So we have the correlative conjunction, and then we have the subject, and then we have the other part of the correlative conjunction. Let's see the first exercise. Space, John space, Zoe will help me with the moving. The alternatives are neither nor, not but, either or. In this case, the correct alternative is either or, letter C, because so one or the other, or John or Zoe, will help me with the moving. In exercise 2, says, he is space naughty space Jack Sparrow, the main character in the Pirates of Caribbean movie. The alternatives are whether or, as, not only but also. In this case, the correct alternative is as, because it means just like, or to compare them. To compare he with Jack Sparrow. So it would be, he is as naughty as Jack Sparrow, the main character in the Pirates of Caribbean movie. Now let's talk about transitions. What are transitions? Transitions are words or phrases that link or connect ideas in your writing. Helps the reader think the way you do and make connections within the text. In other words, transitions are like traffic signals that tell the reader to look out for a change of direction in the writing. We have types of transitions words. We have time and sequence, additions, compare and contrast, examples, cause and effect, and summary conclusion. The first one is time and sequence. It's used to indicate the passage of time or a sequence of ideas. Let's see an example. First, I went to the park. After a while, I decided to go to beach. Meanwhile, my brother was stuck doing homework. Let's see another example. In 1979, the San Diego mission was built. Then, the mission in Monterey was built. In the end, California was home to 21 missions. Some words that we can use are after, afterward, earlier, later, since, by this time, immediately, tomorrow, yesterday, soon, during, and next. Then we have additions. Are used to add information. For example, I love ice cream. I also love chocolate. In addition, frozen yogurt is pretty good as well. We have this, as well as, furthermore, additionally, and. Then we have compare and contrast. They are used to indicate if ideas are similar or different. For example, California was first explored by the Spanish in 1542. However, Spain didn't establish a presence in the area until 1769. Some of the words that can we use are although, but, nevertheless, yet, instead, likewise, in comparison, even so. Then we have examples. As the word says, is used to indicate an example. For example, Tony taught me the value of hard work. For example, I had chores to do every day after school. Some transitions that can we use are, for instance, specifically, such as, and to illustrate. Then we have cause and effect. They are used to show and or effect. For example, since I went to bed early, I woke up feeling refreshed. Some of transitions words that can we use are due to, for, therefore, because of, so, and consequently. Finally, we have summary and conclusion. They are used to conclude or summarize an idea. For example, in conclusion, using transition words is an important part of the writing process. Some transitions words that can we use are as a result, as we have seen, in other words, in short, to summarize, all in all, in closing, to conclude, and to sum up. Now let's do some exercises. The first one says, there are some slight variations in temperature. Space, 26 to 27 degrees Celsius should be expected. The alternatives are consequently, otherwise, and however. And the correct alternative is consequently, because it's a consequence of the slight variations in temperature. Let's go to number 2. Essays must be handed by the deadline. Space, they will not be marked. Alternatives are obviously, otherwise, and as a result. And the correct alternative is otherwise. The final exercise is this. In order to try to reduce car use in the inner cities, the government has announced new restrictions on company parking spaces and a new tax on individual car use. The alternatives are as well as, in addition, and in the same way. And the correct alternative is letter C, in the same way. So it would be, in order to try to reduce car use in the inner cities, the government has announced new restrictions on company parking spaces, and in the same way, a new tax on individual car use.